So go ahead and relax your body. Put yourself into a comfortable position and feel free to make those little micro adjustments that will allow you to go into a deep and relaxed state. And just know that this is your opportunity for you. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in everyone's personal world. Many of us are caretakers, have people that we're caring for. And just know that you're not going to be leaving for long, that you'll be back to do all the things that you need to do with your life. But for this moment, right now, just for this little while that we do this, give yourself permission to relax, to let go, and to disconnect from everything out in the world. And I usually say, you know, from our solar plexus, we often send out these little cords. You might call them strings or sekes, or they're like fishing lines that have hooks on the ends that keep us attached to all the things out in the world that we're connected to. Give yourself permission to unhook from people, places, situations that you are normally connected to, so that you can free your consciousness to do the work that needs to be done tonight. And reel in, like you're reeling in a fishing line, pulling that hook back to your solar plexus. As many hooks as you have out there in the world, could be 1, 5, 10, 20. Just imagine that you're unhooking them all from their sources and reeling them back into your solar plexus, where you can be delightfully disconnected from anything that's going on in the world that normally takes your attention. And then you can focus your attention on you for now. This is the putting the air mask on yourself first moment. So take that time out for yourself, because you matter and you need healing and you need to be cared for, and this is your opportunity to do that for yourself. And you may even notice as you pull all those lines back into your solar plexus how powerful that may feel for you, how relieving it may feel for you. Just notice. And just before we get too far into this, make sure that your cell phone is on stun or turned off, just in case you forgot, so that so-and-so won't call you while you're doing this important work. And just acknowledge for a moment what a big deal that is to turn off the cell phone, to be where you are right now without the tether to the world. Just notice what that's like. Are you okay with it? Does it feel safe for you? Just notice that. Is it exhilarating for you? Do you consider it an opportunity? Notice that. Start to follow the breath into the body, watching the breath, noticing whether it's the belly that rises and falls with each breath, or it's the chest that rises and falls with each breath. Just watch, observe, and should any extraneous thoughts come into your mind, just imagine that they're connected to your out-breath. Exhale them away from you. Let them be quiet. Let the mind be quiet. And when you're ready, imagine that you have a cord extending from the base of your spine, extending your spine down into the ground. Big, thick cord, just like the spine, just like the nerve fibers that run from the brain down through the spine and out to the rest of the body, that tail continues down out of the spine, down into the earth. Many fibers. They call it the equus equinus, the horse's tail, all those fibers that run down the spine to different parts of the body from the brain. Just imagine all of these little fibers of your nervous system running down into the earth, making their way through different layers of soil and sediment and rock, weaving their way through roots, down past underground streams toward the center of the earth, reaching through the underground caverns of water, underground lakes, stalagmites and stalactites, down through crystalline caverns, through layers of minerals, all the way down to the center of the earth. And I don't know what's at the center of the earth. Could be molten lava, could be a giant iron magnetic core, it could be an exact replica of the night sky inside the earth. No one really knows, but whatever you think is down there is just fine. And imagine that all those nerve fibers extending out of your spine are finding little places to hook onto, because you are now at the center of the earth. The center of Mother Gaia. You are connected to her belly, and you can allow your own belly to drop down into her belly, connecting in with her, feeling the depth of your relationship, where she, like the mother, nourishes and nurtures you. It's because of her great spirit that we have a home, a place for us to be ourselves, a place for us to experience three-dimensional reality in all of its complexity. But she also has everything that we need to subsist as human beings during our journey here. So connect in with that. Feel your belly and the warmth of her belly. Where everything that you need is taken care of by her because of her great love for life. Her great love for all of the ways in which the spark of life manifests itself, from the single-celled amoeba all the way to the complexity of the human brain and everything in between. The plants, the trees, the birds, the four-leggeds. And when you realize the enormity of the project here, Project Earth, Project Gaia, when you realize that you're a part of the evolution of a great spirit, and how much love goes into that experience, see if you can connect in with your heart center and feel the appreciation and gratitude that you have that everything actually works incredibly well on this planet. We have an ecosystem that is so unbelievably complex, and a 1 in a quadrillion chance within that ecosystem that it can sustain life, because there are other places that can't do that, at least not in this dimension. But Earth can. This little speck sitting on the end of an arm of a spiral galaxy out in the middle of the universe somewhere, this place that you live right now is able to sustain you as a soul having a three-dimensional human experience, all because of Mother Earth. So see if you can connect with your love for the planet, your love for what this actually means to be a part of this project, this life here on this planet, and what a gift it is to have the experience. And send that love down through your spine and your belly, down into Mother Earth, so that she can receive it. So that she knows your love and respect for her. And when you're ready, make a space in your own heart for her to send that love back to you, because she loves you dearly. Making a space in your heart, and with each in-breath, breathe in her love for you into your heart center, and with each out-breath, allow the pouring out of your love for her to descend down into the center of her belly. In this beautiful breath, the symbiotic breath with her, feel the cycle of that in-breath and out-breath. Love being sent, love being received. Beautiful. And when you're ready, bring your attention into the center of your head. Right into the center of your head. See if you notice the feeling of a magnetic field in that area around the pineal gland between the third and fourth ventricles. Start to breathe into that center. And you, in your mind's eye, may see what looks like a magnetic field. With each inhale, it expands. With each exhale, it contracts. It might have a color. Just notice. Breathe into that center. Bringing all of your attention to it. Bringing all of you into it. Your physical body. Your emotions. Your thinking mind, all of your mental activity. See if you can bring it, focus it into that area as you breathe in and out, expanding and contracting. Breathe. And when you're ready, imagine that you're like a tree, and that tree is sending up branches from its trunk up into the heavens. Imagine those branches dividing, and the dividing branches dividing, and the divided branches dividing, until there are branches upon smaller branches upon twigs reaching out with little leaves on the ends of each little branch, of each little twig. As many as fill the stars in the sky. And I'll qualify that. How about a Montana sky, where you can actually see the stars, as opposed to a Los Angeles sky, where you can see maybe the planets. A starry sky. The consciousness that extends out from the center of your head up into the consciousness that surrounds us, known as the universe. Reaching branches in all directions. Into the fabric of creation itself, of which you're a part. A very integral part, because creation cannot exist without you. You are a necessary participant in creation. And the universe acknowledges you for that. So as you reach out into the fabric of consciousness itself, grabbing from the tapestry of creation, of all of history, see if you can sense the appreciation that history has for you, because it cannot be what it is without your participation as an expression of soul. All the incarnations that you've ever lived on this planet and every other planet are all woven into your story. And that story appreciates you. And so, as you connect in with your heart center once again, send out your appreciation into the cosmos for consciousness. As much as Mother Earth gives you the opportunity to have your 3D experience, that experience starts in the fabric of creation. So give your appreciation to the fabric of creation that seeks to know itself through your experience. Send your appreciation out to your participation in that experience, and let that experience send its appreciation back to you by making a space in your heart center for it. With your exhale, release your appreciation out into the cosmos, your love, your adoration for life itself. And with each inhale, breathe back in your part of creation, your part of history, your part of the fabric of creation. Again, a beautiful, symbiotic, breath-based relationship that you have with all of life. Breathe. Breathe. When you're ready, I want you to divide your attention between Mother Earth and the cosmos. And with your exhale from your heart center, exhale your appreciation and love downward into Mother Earth and upward into the fabric of creation simultaneously. And when you inhale, breathe the appreciation and love for you that Mother Earth has for you and the fabric of creation and life itself has for you. And start to hold the ability, this is what true multitasking is. This goes beyond just being able to do things simultaneously so rapidly that it seems like multitasking. This is true multitasking, because you're actually dividing your consciousness, your awareness between the masculine, the divine masculine, and the divine feminine simultaneously as it exists within the fabric of you. Breathe. Extending, receiving. Breathe. Two directions simultaneously. This is the pinnacle of you being able to meditate, actually, because if you can master this skill, you can always quiet the mind, because the mind cannot participate in what you're doing right now. When you've mastered holding these two fundamental and opposite fields together within yourself, that is true non-duality. Breathe. Now I'm going to take you on a little journey. The first place we're going to go is into your childhood home. Some of you may have multiple childhood homes. Go to the one that is most prominent to you and pick the room that is most prominent to you within that location, within that home. And from your memory, see if you can be there fully and completely now. See what you see, what's on the walls, the ceiling, light fixtures, furniture, personal effects, colors. Notice what you hear. Do you hear the voices of brothers and sisters? Do you hear animals? Do you hear parents? Do you hear other family members? And notice how you feel. You could have really positive feelings, really negative feelings. It actually doesn't really matter. I want you to bring all of those experiences into this room within that home. And I'm going to invite you to bring in the memories that you have of family members that might be associated with that home. You can bring them in visually. You can just hear them. You can just feel their presence. It may even be that you can smell them. Many people have olfactory senses associated with grandparents and parents. I just want you to be there fully and completely as much as you're able to right now, with all of the memories and experiences and the emotions and the opinions and the thoughts and the patterns, everything that you can bring into that experience within that childhood home, especially in that room. And when you're ready, I want you to walk up to the wall that you are most drawn to. Put your hands flat on that wall. In a moment, I'm going to invite you to do something. Before you do that, I want you to know that I don't know what is on the other side of that wall. You might have an expectation of what could be there. Maybe the room next to the room you're in, and maybe something else. But on the count of 3, you're going to push that wall down and encounter whatever it is you encounter. 1, 2, 3. Push that wall down. And I want you to hear it. It may squeak, it may crash, it may explode. I want you to feel your hands pushing it over. And I want you to see, as much as you're able to, what is on the other side. I want you to just notice. You don't have to create anything, because you're letting your subconscious mind take care of that for you. And notice if any of those family members that I suggested you bring in are associated with that wall that you just pushed down. If so, I want you to imagine that they are cardboard cutouts, and I'm going to invite you to push those over as well, if they're associated with that wall. This is not going to cause any harm to them, and the purpose of this is simply to give freedom to your awareness and consciousness, to break free of old patterns that you may not even be aware of. We're causing no harm. We're simply allowing more space. You're pushing down the wall of your own personal box, the box that you build your reality in. That's all. No harm. And we're letting go of the emotions that might be associated with those people and that wall. Even if it's love, simply because we're creating more space, which means if you already have love for that person, you're creating more love because you're giving more space for that to take place. And if it's something very dark for you, if that person represents something that you don't like, you're creating more space for their history with you to be whatever's on the other side of that wall. It could be that you're opening up to a whole new universe. And then that history isn't exactly what it started out as. The history now includes the entire universe, which means that the things that you hold in your memory are not fixed, as in events that took place. They are actually still in motion. You are giving more space for the history of that experience to now include a new reality that is part of your participation in it, which means you influence what is happening with this moment that may have occurred in the past, but it's still alive, which means you can do whatever you want with it. Feel the freedom as you go to the next wall and you put your hands flat upon it, and on the count of 3 we're going to push that wall over. 1, 2, 3. Pushing that wall over and allowing the sound, the feelings, the emotions, the thoughts that are associated with anybody from your family that's associated with that wall to now open up to what is beyond, whatever that looks like. And see if you notice within you space, more space opening up. This means that there's more opportunities, more possibilities. Go to the next wall. Put your hands flat on that wall. Feel the texture of it. Notice if there's anyone from your family associated with that wall. And on the count of 3, we're going to push that wall down. 1, 2, 3. Push the wall over. Hear it. Hear it creaking. Hear it crashing. Hear it squeaking. Hear it blipping out of existence. Notice what is beyond. If there are any people associated with that wall, imagine again that they're like cardboard cutouts. Push them over. Doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. We're not after that. That's not what this is about. This is about space. Giving more space and opportunity and expression to things that occurred in the past, for something new to emerge, to intertwine in with the memory of who that designed you to be, who that helped create, so that you can be something even better. And the final wall, go to that wall now. Put your hands flat upon the wall, and on the count of 3, push that wall over with any cardboard cutouts of anybody that might be associated with it. 1, 2, 3. Push the wall down. Notice now, you have 4 walls down. Most boxes have 4 walls. You may have a ceiling. Just wave your hand and that ceiling will go away, which means there are no limits. If the floor feels like something you don't need to stand on any longer and you trust that you can command the space that you're in, you can let the floor slip away as well. See if you can breathe into the space that surrounds you, this beautiful, big, vast space. What possibilities are there? Do you feel free? Do you feel open? Do you feel limitless? Now, I'd like for you to pick a place that represents any health issues that you have had. It could be anything. And some people don't have health issues. Some people have a lot of health issues. But where's the place that represents those health issues? Is it a doctor's office? Is it a hospital waiting room? Is it an ER? Is it a surgery room? Is it an apothecary? Is it a drugstore? Is it a room that you have that's filled with herbs and supplements? Whatever it is, it's the room that represents your health to you. And again, it doesn't have to be disastrous. It can be good things. It can be things that are positive, and we're not after making things better or worse. We're after making more space. We're after removing any limitations from your thinking that you may not even be aware of. You know, they say that you can never know what you don't know. So we're just going to make more space for something new to drop in. So pick that room in that location that represents your health. And anyone you may associate with your health. Could be doctors, friends, nurses, functional medicine practitioners, chiropractors. Bring all those people into your space. And pick the first wall. See the color. Get a smell of the environment. Feel what you feel. Are there any emotions connected to this experience? Bring them all into the experience with you. And when you're ready, on the count of 3, we're going to push that first wall down. And just notice what's on the other side. 1, 2, 3. What's on the other side of that wall? Hear the wall come down. Whatever sound is appropriate for that wall. And if there are people associated with that particular wall, imagine them as cardboard cutouts and push them over. And see what is beyond you. Hear what is beyond you. Feel the experience of having knocked that wall over to create more space. Notice what you notice. And then when you're ready, pick the next wall. Put your hands flat on the wall. Bring in any associations to people or even things associated with that wall. Create the cardboard cutouts, and on the count of 3, we're going to push them all over. 1, 2, 3. Notice what you notice. Is the outside of that wall different than the first wall? Just notice. We don't need to change anything. We're just observing. This is what the subconscious is presenting to you. See if you notice any freedom. Freedom of movement, freedom of thinking, as you release any attachments that you have to the way that things are or were. And when you're ready, pick the third wall, palms flat on it. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, push that wall over. What's on the other side? Who's associated with that wall? Do you need to push any cardboard cutouts over of images of them? Are there any objects associated with it? Maybe herbs or vitamins or foods that you've been having to eat or not eat. Just push it all over. Create more space. Feel the freedom. See if you notice if your breath is expanding. Does it feel like your lungs are expanding? Do you feel more open? Is anything releasing in your musculoskeletal system? Just notice. And then when you're ready, go to the fourth wall. Put your hands flat on it. Feel the texture of it. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Push the wall over. What do you notice? Is there anybody associated with that wall that you also need to push over? Any objects associated with that wall? What is on the other side? Do you feel open? Create more space. Just notice what it's like. And if there isn't a lot of space, that's okay too. Just notice what you notice without judgment. See if you notice how you may be different, how you're creating different relationships with things just by doing this. And now when you're ready, I invite you to go someplace that represents your career. Now you may have had multiple careers. and you may be in transition from one career to another. I want you to pick the thing that you have spent the most time at and the location or room that may represent that as closely as possible. The place where you have your career box. And inside that career box, that room, could be a lot of different people. Co-workers, bosses, teachers. Bring them all in. Don't hold back. Remember, it's not about positive or negative. It's about space. Bringing in more space for something new that you don't even know what it is to come in to influence your behaviors, your beliefs, your perceptions. Bring them all in. Smell what you smell. Smell is often very important. Hear the chatter. Hear the conversations. Feel your emotions. What things may you have held on to from different points in your career life. Bring all of you into this experience. And when you're ready, put your hands flat on one of those walls. The first wall that represents your career, the box. And anybody that may be associated with that wall. Make them into a cardboard cutout, and when you're ready, on the count of 3, push that wall over. 1, 2, 3. Pushing that wall over. What's on the other side? Just notice. Whatever you see or don't see is important. Whatever you hear or don't hear is important. Push any cardboard cutouts over, push any objects over, so that you can create more space. And when you're ready, go to the second wall. Feel your hands flat on the wall. Notice if there's any associations between people in that wall. And notice the cardboard cutouts of them. And when you're ready, remember, they can be great bosses. It's not about whether they were good or bad. We're not just getting rid of bad experiences. We're getting rid of all experiences so that you can create more space. Those great experiences will be even greater. Those experiences that weren't so great, you create more space because they're not done. They're not finished. You're still creating them, whether you realize it or not. And now you'll be more aware of how you can influence the outcome of that experience. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, pushing that wall over, pushing all of those people over, pushing those objects over. More space. What do you notice? What's on the other side of that wall? Just take it in. Sometimes the subconscious mind expresses itself symbolically. There may not be more space. Maybe more objects for your subconscious to look at, to bring messages to the conscious mind. Just notice. And when you're ready, put your hands flat upon the third wall. And on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, pushing that wall over. Hear the wall go down. Feel what you feel. Bring all of you into the experience. Is there anybody associated with that wall that also needs to be pushed over, flattened, to give more space? More space. And then go to the fourth wall. Put your hands flat upon it. Associate anybody with that wall that needs to be associated with it. Associate any objects that need to be associated with that wall. And on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, push the wall over. What sound does it make? What associations do you have to into that experience. Feel what you feel, hear what you hear, see what you see, experience what you experience. Does it feel open now that all four walls are down? Now if these people have been pushed over, do you feel more open? Do you feel more expansive? Do you feel tighter? Do you feel closed off? What do you notice? It's all telling you something. Where might you be holding on to something that you need to let go of? It's a good opportunity to recognize that and to ask for assistance, because we're never alone. Nobody comes into being a human being alone. Ask your spirit guides to help you. Now we're going to do one more room. And this is the room of your intimate relationships. Yep, that's a fun one. You're going to pick a room now that represents all the relationships that you've had. Even ones that you're in right now. That's just fine. We're not trying to fix anything or remove anything. We're trying to give more space to you, being a human being, so that you can be better than the best that you can be. So where is that room for you? Is it a bedroom? Is it a kitchen? I want you to bring in all of the objects that you might associate with the different relationships that you've been in, and bring those people in. Whether it was a great relationship or not, it's not about that. It's about creating more space. Bring all of your relationships into that room. Feel what you feel. Smell what you smell. Hear what you hear. The chatter, conversations. When you're ready, put your hands flat upon the most appropriate wall to start with. On the count of 3, any cardboard cutouts that you have associated with that person, push that wall down. 1, 2, 3. What's on the other side? Pushing any cardboard cutouts over that are associated with that wall. See if you notice what's changed. See if you can breathe a little bit better. And when you're ready, go to the second wall. Bring in any cardboard cutouts associated with that wall. Feel what you feel, hear what you hear, see what you see. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Push that wall over. Hear it go down. Feel what you feel. What are the emotions that are happening? Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it bliss? Can you feel more space? Just notice what you notice. And then when you're ready, go to the third wall. Put your hands flat upon it. See the cardboard cutouts of any objects, people associated with that wall. The box of your relationships. 1, 2, 3. Pushing that wall over. Hear it go down. What sound does it make? What's on the other side? Just notice. What do you experience? What does this feel like for you? Does it change your thoughts? Does it alter your behavior? Just notice. Now we go to the final wall. Put your hands flat upon it. Bring in any associations as cardboard cutouts. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Pushing that wall over. Noticing what's on the other side. Pushing any cardboard cutouts of any objects or people, or maybe even animals that need to be pushed over, simply so that you can have more space. Again, anything that's really good will be better. Anything that's ready to be let go of will be let go of. Anything that needs answers will be answered. You're in the right place. Now, you now have 4 rooms with their walls pushed over. I want you to see if you can go into the center of them as if you were in the center of one house. And see if you can see all 4 of those rooms connected to one another. And see if you can notice the space, the expansiveness. And then I invite you to call in your higher self, your spirit guides, your superconscious, as a light filled with love. And to fill that space with as much light and love as you possibly can. Whatever color is appropriate for you, breathe in, call that light and love in, and then exhale and then spread it out in all directions, especially through your own body, your own mind, your physical heart and physical brain, throughout all the arteries and veins going to and from your heart, throughout your endocrine system, through the energy centers, filling your bones, moving into the field that surrounds your body, allowing yourself to be light and love and pure energetic buoyancy in this space. Using your breath as the vehicle to expand and contract within the space, knowing that the life force runs in, around, and through you. Send out love and appreciation in all directions for all of creation. And in a moment we're going to begin our chant and begin to send this experience, this energy outward through your voice to everyone on your list, to everyone that you forgot to put on your list, and especially to those beings on our planet that are suffering and are willing to accept the gift of this loving light force that you have within you for their own healing.